Every day, babies fight for their lives. And every day, this morning's guest is fighting to help them win. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning with the Fox 43 studio, we're focused on the Horry County Walk America to be held Saturday, April 30th. And we're visiting with Dennis Wade, the Horry County Walk America chairman.
Good morning,
Dennis.
Glad to be here.
Thanks so much for coming in. I think we're kicking off the month here, April 1st.
We are.
Less than a month now before the walk.
We're down to the crunch.
How you feeling?
Really good. We got a lot of people out there working hard to raise money, a lot of teams. We're over 100 teams right now, and still signing up teams to get involved. So we're very encouraged. Most of the real fundraising gets done in those last 2 to 3 weeks, and so we're down to that crunch period right now. But just a tremendous amount of work going on out there. The schools, businesses, families, churches, a lot of folks that are trying to raise money for the March of Dimes. So.
Dennis, could folks still come in this late? I mean, we
Absolutely.
say this late Friday, April 1st, but you've got a month to put it together.
Absolutely. And matter of fact, folks can show up on Walk Day, which is April 30th, Saturday, April 30th. You can become a team instantaneously. Show up on Walk Day, participate in the walk. We'd like for you to contribute money to the March of Dimes, but yeah, in order to set up a team, whether it be a family or work or whatever, to get the most impact, we'd like to go ahead and have you do that now. Get the information from the March of Dimes. A lot of that information is mailed out, but we don't turn anyone away. If an individual is seeing the program this morning, they want to get involved, all they've got to do is call the March of Dimes office. Joe Fisher and Colleen over at the PD chapter office will be glad to get them signed up, registered. They'll be receiving information directly on the March of Dimes. And
Great.
All they got to do is call the 843-488-3463, and they'll be signed up and ready to go. That's
an easy number, 488-DIME.
That's right.
Joe always drives that home. They've got it up everywhere. They even have an 866 number, which I don't know, but that 488-3463 is critical.
Right.
And it's so important to get it in, even if they call right now at 7:05, leave a message on there. Joe or Colleen will get back to them on a Friday, April 1st. They'll get back to them probably Friday the 29th.
That's right.
Even if they wait that late. But it's so critical. And as you say, it's just so important to get people out there even the day of the walk if it's their first time they're hearing about it.
That's right. And the walk day is really the celebration day, the way we look at that. A lot of the hard work and the fundraising has taken place really for several months prior. The real crunch is in the last 30 days or so. But the day of the walk day itself, and this year Horry County is actually holding our walk on National Walk Day.
Right.
We used to hold it the first Saturday in April. We moved it back to National Walk Day. So we'll be walking with thousands, hundreds of thousands of millions of people across the country for the National Walk America Day.
Oh, yeah. Golly, it's so critical. You know, I saw 2 great ads in last week's paper highlighting the walk, and it's amazing when you think about the people who do walks, whether it's for the March of Dimes or the Heart Association. I was in Durham recently. My father just completed the crop walk, and he was pulling out all these checks from folks. He's so excited about having done it. But at the same time, to know it's for a good cause, and in this instance, obviously fighting prematurity,
Absolutely.
working to prevent birth defects in children, and obviously helping parents that are associated with all the ill effects.
And the money is so important from the research standpoint with the March of Dimes. 92%, 92 cents on 92% of every dollar that comes in goes directly into research. And that research is so important. In 2003, the March of Dimes introduced their national prematurity campaign. And it's a multi-year campaign that they're working on to find a cause for what is causing premature birth in this country. It's staggering. 1 in every 8 is born premature. In South Carolina, that's about 149 a week.
Wow.
Almost 8,000 each year, just in South Carolina. It happens in probably over half of the cases. With all the technology that we have today and all the science, we still don't know the cause. And that's why that money is so important to be able to find the cause and potentially a cure for premature birth.
And it's so many small things as well. It's amazing. Carolyn Ewing was with us 2 weeks ago, and she was highlighting little things like eating sprouts in a buffet that could potentially be dangerous. Obviously, even finding out about that required a lot of research.
Sure.
You don't want to get people crazy about every little thing they get near, but at the same time, Chris Saffels was with us last Friday, and he was talking about prematurity and things we don't think about necessarily prematurity anywhere birth before 37 months.
Right.
And that impacts just are so dramatic to hear a father share with you about. And I'm sure, of course, you've spent time with both of our ambassador babies.
Yes, this year we actually have two. We have a little ambassador baby boy, Luke Parrott, and Riley Saffels is our little ambassador baby girl. And both of those families have a very tremendous story to tell with their experiences with prematurity, what they've been through. Very fortunate right now that both of those children are doing very well health-wise and are growing. Actually, Luke had been through a pretty tough time around the holidays, and right now he has been released from the doctors and is actually doing very well. So, we're glad to see that. But that's one of the issues with premature birth. The amount of medical dollars that goes into the care, ongoing care for those children is staggering. I think I read recently that for a normal child, normal birth, the medical cost associated with that is somewhere in the average number is somewhere in the $1,300 to $1,500 range, whereas a premature baby is somewhere in the $70,000 to $75,000 range. So the costs are very staggering.
Oh, my Lord, Dennis, that's an incredible number.
It is.
You know, I think Chris Saffel shared last Friday that some of those numbers for them were in the $500,000 range.
Yes.
Because of the severity of certain aspects of Riley's going along. I mean, early on, and it's fascinating when you begin to think of those numbers. And he laid out, on the charts, showing that each line, and he would in his head break down after talking to the doctors the cost of each line of different drugs that had to be, recognized to keep her alive.
And she's just slightly over a year,
Mm-hmm.
and her path will continue. There will be additional medical costs until she really reaches that full development stage. Hopefully there will not be, neither one of our ambassadors hopefully will not have any lifelong type of health problems, but a lot of premature babies do, and it's not something that at some point in their life they overcome. They're dealing with some of these disabilities and health challenges throughout their life.
Dennis, we want to get into the walk day activities and to think it's within this month. I mean, we are exactly right at tomorrow, 4 weeks from the day of the walk.
Absolutely.
And I know you're getting thrilled every day. You're getting ready for it. You're hoping it's tomorrow. At the same time, real quick, yesterday you all had a team captain's rally. How'd that go?
It was wonderful.
Right.
Medieval Times hosted our rally. It's really the last chance to bring all the team captains together, kind of get that last push, find out what's really working, hear from them, directly from them. Get some ideas for teams that may be struggling a little bit. They can get some feedback. Okay, what do I need to do differently? A lot of different fundraising ideas, but it was a great turnout. Medieval Times actually allowed our team captains to enjoy a dinner and the tournament that they put on in the evening. It was just a wonderful event.
That's fantastic. It's so important. And as you say, anyone can help set up a team today. They can set it up this weekend. They can talk to friends at church on Sunday. They can talk to folks in the park tomorrow or later this afternoon, or they can talk to other parents of their children. Speaking of that, if someone has to get out, has to get off to school now or get off to work, again, that critical phone number for a viewer to call.
843-488-3463.
Okay.
And Colleen, Joe, anybody at the March of Dimes office will be glad to help.
Great. I think they can also go online at walkamerica.org for the national site. And since our walk is on National Walk Day, I'm sure it begins to lay out things you can even do over this last 29, 30 days getting ready for the walk. Speaking of that, what are some of the things that folks were doing that you all may have talked about yesterday, the team's captains rally, some of the fundraisers that are pretty easy to put together?
We've got some great things. As a matter of fact, some of our Beanie Babies, for example, that a lot of companies are buying, and these normally cost between $2 and $2.50. You sell them for $5, and obviously the excess goes to benefit the March of Dimes.
Right.
We also have the baby booties, $1 a piece. Put your children, husband, spouse, grandchildren, whoever, put their name on there. And we're also this year have magnets, $5 a piece that you can stick on your car.
And those stick.
They actually stick to the car. They do.
I need to get that.
But there's a tremendous amount that we are doing even beyond these items that the March of Dimes offers. Scented candles, We've got a local provider here who that seems to be a real big hit with the scented candles. We're also doing 2 fundraisers. We have 2 opportunities to win 2 tickets to a Coastal Carolina football game against Savannah State on November 5th. And you'll have 2 tickets to the game and either a signed football or a signed helmet. So there'll actually be 2 prizes. And there's 3, you get 3 chances, 3 tickets for $5. So hopefully folks will participate in that. And Coach David Bennett has been our honorary chairman this year.
Right.
And has been very gracious and generous in helping out with the March of Dimes and was willing to contribute the tickets along with the helmet and the football. So 2 winners will walk away walk day. The drawing will be at the walk on April 30th. 2 winners will walk away with 2 tickets and a helmet or 2 tickets and a football. So
right.
we're trying to do anything that we can at this point, really getting outside the box, if you will, to get some innovative fundraising ideas.
Well, I know there's so many ideas, and I think one of the folks on the board, Lance Thompson, who you know well, talked about CEO car washes, talked about so many things that could be done, selling even having bake sales,
yeah.
whether they do them at work or in a PTO setting or at school or otherwise. I mean, there's so many opportunities as long as folks make that effort. And I think their prizes, folks get a T-shirt if they raise what level?
$100.
Okay,
Bring in
great.
$100, they get a T-shirt. Each year, Walk America, March of Dimes does a Walk America T-shirt.
Right.
It'll have our sponsors, our major sponsors, which this year we've got a premier sponsor, which is the Myrtle Beach Herald.
Right,
We've got Wachovia, Bank of America, and Blue Cross Blue Shield this year is one of our statewide sponsors. So we'll have all of the sponsors on the T-shirts. We've got a nice little logo. It's a nice T-shirt that all the walkers who generate that $100 will receive. You know, some other ideas, fundraising that some folks are doing are lock-up days, where I think we're going to be doing one at the Jackson Companies where you can have someone locked up and they've got to raise some money to be able to get out of jail. And
right, yeah.
Word is that I'm probably going to be locked up most of the day.
Pretty quick, that's right. You won't be able to generate enough.
Yeah, so I'm putting on my fundraising hat that day. But car washes, like you said, the bake sales. A lot of folks are getting real creative. The schools are actually doing change days where they've got little buckets and encouraging the students to bring in any change, bills, whatever that they can. And we're getting some very positive feedback that the schools are having a lot of success with that fundraiser.
There is, I popped into Wachovia down there on Dick Pond Road the other day, and they were having Blue Jean Day on a Friday. I think they're doing that on today. So it's fascinating to see the levels that companies are willing to go to. And, of course, they don't want to do anything that would slow down production. They don't want to do anything that would negatively impact how things are done. But at the same time, there's so many very easy things that can be done. As you said, selling these Beanie Babies or selling lollipops or M&Ms. One of the children over in Loris was the top seller in the state from selling an incredible number of M&Ms and candy bars. Yeah. It's a big deal.
And a lot of it is just making the ask. It's amazing. If you let somebody know that you're going to be walking on walk day, you know, give me $5, contribute $5, $10, $1, whatever you can. It all adds up, and you put all of that together. We have a very hefty goal this year. We had a tremendously successful campaign last year. We raised $203,000.
Wow!
It was a tremendous campaign. Our goal this year is $216, and as I said, We've got right now over 100 teams out there working to generate money that'll go towards that goal. So we've got a steep mountain that we're climbing right now, but it takes a lot of hands and a lot of people working together to get there.
Now, Dennis, you said that Coach Bennett's the honorary chair this year. That's the role you held last year.
He is.
I think you said...
Yes, and he has been just a great ambassador for the March of Dimes. We learned at the March of Dimes Real Estate Breakfast earlier in the spring that he had been touched with prematurity with his daughter Hayes, and we decided to ask him to get involved, and without a question, he immediately said yes, and has been just a tremendous ally with us and helping us. He put out a PSA. He's been involved with the fundraising efforts over at Coastal Carolina. He'll be at the walk on walk day. I'm sure he'll have a few words to say to the folks. He's going to bring some of his football players.
Great.
They're going to be out there walking with us. He said they would be out there walking. So,
that means they will.
He and his strength coach are going to be up there warming us up on walk day.
Yeah.
So, I think it's great to have, you know, someone of his caliber, exposure, but it also, to hear him talk to having experienced premature birth, brings a true reality to what we're trying to do.
Dennis, go ahead and let's talk about some of the other amazing activities that will be occurring Saturday, April 30th. I think you said registration kicks off at 9. You and all the other folks are out there at 6, 5, the day before down at the pavilion, getting everything ready. Share with the viewers, if they're coming in from anywhere, where they need to go and what the day is going to be like.
The walk starts at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion.
Okay.
Again, registration at 9. Walk will actually start at 10 o'clock. If you're looking for a place to park, as long as you get there, if you're going to walk, you'll obviously be there before 11. But all walkers who are participating can park in the pavilion garage, the parking lot there.
Yeah.
Free of charge, and basically come over. We've got a host of things planned for the day. A lot of food, drinks. Krispy Kreme's going to be there, Starbucks coffee, Coca-Cola. The BI-LO is going to contribute hot dogs. Pizza Hut's going to have some pizza. Burger King is going to have some cookies. We're going to have plenty of things for you to nibble on, eat. Before the walk, when you get back from the walk, a lot of things for kids' activities. We'll have a special surprise there for the kids, an activity for them to do after they get back from the walk. We're going to have clowns, cotton candy. It's just a real festive morning for everybody. So it's more than just, as I said, it's a celebration. So it's a time to get out on hopefully a very beautiful morning, get out on the beach, 3 miles down, 3 miles back.
It's a 6-mile walk.
It's a 6-mile walk.
Wow.
And we'll have a midway station with water, drinks, and also one at about 1.5 miles as well. So there'll be refreshments out on the beach walking. But we're looking forward to it. Just a tremendous day.
Of course, this isn't going to happen, but a couple of critical things for viewers to know. Rain or shine, the event happens.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes.
It is National Walk America Day, so it happens rain or shine. Obviously, we pray for great weather.
Absolutely.
Other important thing is a lot of viewers can't walk 6 miles. What do they do?
They can, if they just want to come out for the morning. If you can't walk, or if you're out of town that weekend and you still want to raise money, that's perfectly fine. There's actually a bank day on Thursday prior to the walk. You can turn your money to the March of Dimes on that day. You can mail it into the March of Dimes. For every walker packet that is turned in, our national sponsors will match monies for every walker packet that's turned in. So if you can't walk but you still want to help, please get involved. That's the main thing, is to get involved and help raise money for the cause, the mission of the March of Dimes, which is helping save babies.
Absolutely. And so many businesses have those walker packets. If you can't get in touch with Joe and Colleen in the office, call in the 843-488-3463 number. They can let you know locations around town or even in your community. Of course, the really important thing to think about is there's multiple walks in the PD in southeastern North Carolina for all of our viewers. I don't know all the dates. That's why they need to call the PD division office. Even the one our viewers in North Carolina can call and can find out about North Carolina area walks. But it's so important to think, whether you walk or not, you can still be a part of helping to save babies.
Absolutely. And if you go to the website, there's actually an opportunity to do online fundraising where you can distribute your own personally customized message out to all your friends, family, neighbors, and they actually, through credit card, can make a contribution. Very easy, very seamless to do. And that actually began last year, has been very successful as well.
Let's break down the next 4 weeks for you, Dennis, as you think through some of the things you have to do. Obviously, continuing to be a cheerleader for all the teams. How do you go about in this role? And I know last year you were such an active chairman, and this year even more so, because it's year 2. I think you've said we found a good new chairman for next year. I'm going to share with viewers a little bit about that. But share with viewers what you'll be doing over the next 4 weeks to make sure to try to drive the number home as much as possible. What do you do with the teams? I know you've been making sure things happen within your own company, the Jackson Companies, and we can talk about some of the other things y'all are doing. But break down, as in this position, in year 2 now, what are some of the things you learned last year that you did in that last month leading up to it, and what will the last week be like for you?
A lot of it is through the committee that we've got set up, is working through those folks, their contacts with the various teams. We try to go in there, and a lot of it is the coaching and the rah-rah, getting the team captains really motivated, encouraged, that we're on the home stretch. A lot of it is touching base with them to see where they are. As you mentioned, our campaign at the Jackson Companies will really be hitting full steam in the month of April, and a lot of the focus will be there. But really, one of the things that I do in that last month is there's an opportunity to sell additional sponsorships. Anywhere from the higher dollar amounts down to a $50 mission sign. We have mile markers for $100. If you want to have a banner on walk day at the pavilion, $250 you can contribute and get a banner. The mission signs are $50. So a lot of it is anybody you come in contact with. You go into a store, one of your vendors. It's really just making that ask, getting the question out there and seeing if they can help in some way. And a lot of folks can say, well, maybe I can't contribute monetarily, but what about if I can contribute some product? Or, last year we had folks who contributed fruit, apples, and things for Walk Day, which are a tremendous help on Walk Day, add to what we've got to offer to the hundreds of folks who come out to walks.
And it was so vital as you lay out Krispy Kreme, Coca-Cola, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, Bi-Lo, Burger King. I mean, you're thinking about cookies from Burger King. Well, that's something you think about when you think about Burger King.
That's right.
But thank the Lord they're making that effort to provide cookies.
That's right.
And as you say, folks can provide water, they can provide Gatorade, they can provide any type of Powerade, anything. Every number of things that can be provided that day to make the day even that much more exciting for all the volunteers. You've got a slew of volunteers who help make this happen, Dennis.
We do, and there's so many behind the scenes that work through the logistical issues, making the phone calls, asking for donations of in-kind goods, and they're the folks that really bring all this together and make it happen on Walk Day. And it's a lot of those folks, through their relationships with their businesses, are so vital to a fundraiser of this magnitude, and having those folks participate. I'm very pleased to for the second year, I've been involved with just a tremendous group of people who really have the passion for the mission of the March of Dimes, and that's really what you've got. In some cases, people say I'm not really a good fundraiser, but mentioning the March of Dimes and mentioning what you're raising money for to help the babies. What a door opener. People generally, you appeal to their heart, they will help.
Dennis, the phrase ambassador baby seems self-explanatory, but Parker Wilson, the ambassador baby of last year's walk, helped lead the day. What will be the significance? Why are there ambassador babies? And of course, there's so many babies they could pick. It's a big decision trying to find two. Of course, they got two. They got a boy and a girl this year.
That's right.
What will they be doing the day of the walk on Saturday, April 30th?
Both of the ambassador families will be there. They will have an opportunity to share with the crowd there that morning their experiences, how they've benefited from the March of Dimes, the research that the March of Dimes has done over the years. And it's really an opportunity for them. The ambassadors serve a purpose in bringing the real understanding of premature birth to the forefront. Because a lot of times we may not have been touched in our own lives by a premature birth or a birth defect. These folks are dealing with it every day. And to be able to really get a sense of what their struggle or what the issues, medical problems that they've been through, it brings a level of reality to it, and it really is they sell what the March of Dimes does, because they are a direct beneficiary of what the organization is all about. They are folks that live here, raise their children here in this community. Sometimes we think about some of these things as it happens to somebody else, outside of our area. I don't know anybody who's suffered from premature birth. These are folks that are right here in our community, that have a real story to tell. Their families will be here. We'll also have, expecting to have some of our past ambassador babies and ambassador families that'll be walking as well on Walk Day. So for those folks, Kyle Loftus was at the kickoff. This is his 20th anniversary. He was an ambassador 20 years ago, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to come out as well on Walk Day. But to see how those children have progressed and developed. I think it's really a tribute to what this organization is all about.
Absolutely. And Dennis, this March of Dimes is so important. You know, they've kicked off that prematurity campaign a couple years ago, the $75 million to raise, to really fight, but they're involved in so many aspects of birth defects, so many aspects of continuing to do research in all areas that it's critical for anyone who's affected. In year 2 for you, Dennis, when you think back to a year and a half ago, trying to prepare, or 2 years ago, trying to get ready for this, what's been the most, is it these aspects of seeing the ambassador baby, seeing the real life aspect of it that's really continued to make you do what you do every day?
It is, and you develop a bond with the families, and getting a level of respect and understanding, and even in their case, with having not had any premature problems before, all of a sudden now they're dealing with a child that's born at 23 weeks or 28 weeks, and I think in the parent's case, they were in Montana and couldn't get back for probably 3 or 4 months. She was not able to get back for 3 or 4 months. It's that connection with those children, and as you can imagine, we have 2 ambassador babies, and obviously last year bonding with Parker. This is happening throughout the nation. But I think seeing what the March of Dimes does, and the benefit that it has on these families, it makes the purpose and mission of that organization. That's why I wanted to be involved.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely.
This morning,
Thank
Dennis.
you.
Very
Thank
definitely.
you.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Dennis Wade coming up next. Put down that date, Saturday, April 30th. Registration's at 9. The walk kicks off at 10. Phone number, 843-488-3463. Everyone knows where the pavilion is. The pavilion parking garage will be open that day for walkers. If you're out there, you let the folks in the garage, let them know you're there for the walk. Down at the beach, you'll get free parking. You can get in there, come down and enjoy the festivities. You can join up. You heard Dennis Wade say it. You can be there that day. It can be your day. Help celebrate the recognition of fighting birth defects in babies. Make an effort. Be out there Saturday, April 30th.